Hi everyone, my name is Anita, and today I want to share a little bit about our approach and share briefly some of the context, some of the methods we use, the successes and challenges, and round up with some of our learnings. Some of the slides have a lot of text on them, and in the interest of time, I may click through these, but you can also revisit in your own time. Our context. Ireland has two exam cycles, both high stakes. Junior cycle age 12 to 14 and the senior cycle 15 to 18. During review by our National Council for Curriculum Assessment, Ireland's senior cycle, which includes university entrance and further education exams, was deemed not fit for purpose and needed revision for the demands of the 21st century. You can see here some of the proposed revisions. To verify their approach, the UN observers, the OECD, reviewed the review and confirmed that the NCA's review was solid and that the findings were correct. However, until there was something that could be trusted, system change would be incremental and slow. Just prior to this, we had begun our research developing a place-based STEAM education approach to the VUCA world: volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And this requires a whole new set of skills. There are a number of findings, but the ones that stuck with us and informs our current approach were these. Our key cohort, which was 75 young people for an academic year, felt that they were worried about their future because they didn't think they had one. They weren't talking to their friends about it, and they were conscious and able to articulate that they were using denial as a coping mechanism. If they didn't talk about it, they could pretend it wasn't happening. Their perception was that they knew more than their parents and teachers about climate change, and that the adults and leaders were doing nothing anyway. Since then, we have worked with close to 2,500 learners and their teachers and 17 industry and academic subject experts to develop the Muinín Catalyst Sustainable STEAM Education Programme. Imagine designing our present and future world based on the education of the world of 40 years ago. Essentially, this is what we are doing. We have already compromised the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. For them to exist in this VUCA world, they will need to build a whole new skill set, and Ireland's educational system is not preparing them for this reality. Our current approach, Muinín Catalyst Sustainable STEAM, has three aspects: in schools, within the mainstream education system, aligned to the mainstream education system through design sprints, and we're going to build an online learning community. And I will talk about each of these as we go through. Our work integrates a number of values-led design frameworks, so learners and teachers are developing integrated futures literacies, knowledge and skills. They also use differentiated strategies and blended learning to support diverse learners. When we asked learners about the work we had been doing with them, which talked openly about the realities of climate change, while they said it was hard at times, the information was difficult. They would rather have the information than not. They also added our approach gave them hope, as we never left them sitting in the problem. We were always encouraging them to think through the problem, what they could do, and were giving them the confidence and competencies needed for them to act. This is an overview of our themes. It is basically food, clothes, shelter, and the various pedagogical aspects within them. They are devised to address gaps in knowledge for both teachers and learners. These are gaps that we saw and continue to see during our research. They embed state-of-the-art research and industry innovation in accessible ways. This is through our industry and academic links and our global Smart Lab, a global network of practitioners and researchers working towards pro-eco-social change. In school, the Muinín Catalyst platform supports learners and teachers with a bank of scaffolded programme resources and activity sheets that simultaneously builds confidence and competence towards project-based learning. Each programme, as well as each session, has three parts: knowledge acquisition, which is discovery-based learning to encourage authentic connections; knowledge experimentation, which builds confidence and competence and fosters students' voice and choice; and developing and designing a meaningful challenge, sustaining student inquiry. The programs are also designed to be delivered either as a whole program by 2 to 3 teachers through linked learning, or as a micro module, or a pick and mix approach. You can start with 1 or 2 lessons to augment your existing teaching plans, as well as soft introduction to project-based learning. This was to support Irish teachers to facilitate learning without a curriculum or subject-specific expertise. Our work with the industry experts and academic experts embed knowledge into the lessons that can be trusted. You can see 2 versions of the platform access points. So all the programs on the left, and then what happens when you click into a program, you can see the seven modules, and then you can click into those and you can get activities lesson by lesson. They're designed to fit within a school timetable and teachers' teaching loads. We also have extension and reduction activities depending on the timetable. We encourage teachers to have double or even triple classes, which can either be an hour and 20 minutes or 2 hours, as some schools have hour-long classes while others only have 40 minutes. And you can see an example of some of the lesson plans and the supporting resources. We include place-based supports in linking with communities, including working with community groups on problem solving and challenges. We also include suggestions for challenges, co-develop driving questions with learners, as well as online clinics, planning support, and troubleshooting for teachers with us. During our research, we saw that learners also needed specific support, as the system has attuned them not only to right and wrong answers, but also how to answer. And the skills and knowledge we are trying to build are non-standard and often rarefied. Design, creativity, systems thinking, complexity, as well as communication. You can see here an example of our design sprints, which actually takes learners out of the more formal classroom scenario. The design sprints are devised to give the learners real-world experience of challenge-led learning and working with experts as part of a team, as well as within small groups. At the end of the sprint, the process and expertise is repackaged into programs that can be delivered within a school context and timetable by any teacher. We are currently working with our learning community and adapting our resources to support students to work alone, and we're working with a team of learners as co-designers. We are also connecting our platform to a bespoke, closed and safe AI system that learners can use to generate support from our learning resources if they do not have a peer group or an adult or teacher that can support them. To date, we have worked with over close to 2,500 learners and their teachers and continuously use this experience to inform our evolution as we are engaged researchers. While linked to a university, we operate as an SME. This means we can undertake our work under research conditions and further improve upon them. We evaluate all we deliver, and every lesson has a built-in reflective activity which not only gives feedback to the teacher, but enables learners to think about what they have learned and what they would like to learn more of, as well as enable the teacher to adapt the lesson. If we are working under research conditions, we also gain access to these evaluations to inform the design of new resources or update existing resources. We encourage peer review and critique from the perspective of collaboration and working together. And being arts and design led, we are also teaching them about iteration rather than failure. And you can see some of the feedback that has come from this 3-2-1 exercise. Given our approach, we experience different successes and challenges in each context. Successes have included more teachers using our resources and feeling confident enough to adapt or hack them, using them to augment their own teaching, learners designing finding solutions that no adult would think of, learners consistently report they enjoy the sessions, they overcome struggles and self-identify new interests and skills, and working with our external experts to build the content, they find the process challenging but also rewarding and are now looking to build them into any third level teaching that they also do. On the challenges, Learners' abilities in certain areas are not cultivated. Imagination, creativity, or applying knowledge in new context or practical problem solving, as this is not in the curriculum at all. The limitations of trying to fit within the school timetable, as most teachers work across multiple years and cannot take time from other classes for PBL, project-based learning. Both in school and working with external experts, there is a disconnect to the lived experience of active, engaged learning, particularly for this age group. Being most learning is normally information driven. So, in summary, I would just like to say under strategies and tactics, we operate both within formal and informal learning contexts and seek opportunities by consistently working strategically for system change and tactically to show proof of concept and access learners. There are often ways and opportunities that are overlooked, and we leverage these. Teacher continuing professional development, work experience, and increasing research projects within formal learning contexts. Small, well-defined projects are critical for encouraging the process and can be easy to integrate into a school context. Whether teachers or learners, we provide support in clear, accessible ways. We also provide briefs for projects with clear goals, expectations, and assessment criteria, often developing this with learners and including peer assessment. As we encourage collaboration and teamwork, this provides a strong foundation for peer assessment. Failure is success in process. We embrace an iterative approach. We regularly assess the effectiveness of our projects and make improvements based on feedback and outcomes. As researchers as well as educators, we look for emerging educational trends, technological advancements, and changing student need. Our relationships with learners and teachers also inform our work, as inclusive design is one of our frameworks. They are our clients. Increasingly, the skills within the arts and design are deemed valuable, and within this approach to learning, research, exploring, experimenting are all opportunities for learning. Learning by doing is iterative. We are focused on this for both teachers and learners and challenge concept of failure. Balance and autonomy and guidance. This is important as we need to build confidence and competence simultaneously so learners are motivated by positive challenges that encourage success rather than becoming overwhelmed by failure or becoming stuck by not knowing what to do. It encourages learner ownership while providing support and mentoring. Very few learners have the skills to go straight to agentic learning or self-directed learning initially. They have to be deprogrammed from the system. We hope that to cultivate lifelong learning. All the skills and competencies we promote are transferable and support the learner's curiosity and to develop their own voice and be confident in their choices. Being design-led, the approach to PBL not only addresses specific learning objectives, but also cultivates skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and adaptability, invaluable for lifelong learning and success beyond the classroom. Thank you. We are also relaunching our platform, and if anyone would like to sign up, all the resources are free. And you can see the website is www.muinincatalyst.com. Thank you for your time, and you can always contact us if you have any questions or would like to use the resources and need some help in planning.